All right, gonna go ahead and bring back Rafa and Joshi. See how sad Joshi's face is, and see how happy Rafa's
Oh,
is.
don't worry, I'm not. I'm not sad, but I am writing that down in my notebook.
You're writing it down. Okay, good.
Not gonna
I'll
forget
stick. I'll
that.
just be over here, be wholesome, be happy, be delightful. No big deal. But it was an absolute pleasure to get to hear from Spyrax a little bit, especially some of the fun we got to have with him, but also some of the nitty gritty stuff, right? Talking about the slump of the season and bouncing back from that a little bit, Joshi.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. He was like, yeah, what clicked? I don't know, it just did, right? Like things just seem to be working now, right? I have
Sometimes
a
you wake
long
up.
rant. I have a long rant that I could do about that at another time, but at the same time, I also want to wish Philip happy birthday. He's one of my favorite
Yeah,
players.
happy birthday, Phil. I wanted to get it like separated so we could do a whole thing. All right, we need to throw it in here now. Happy
It's okay.
birthday,
Your birthday
Philip.
was yesterday. Philip's birthday is
FlyQuest
today.
Academy. No big deal. It's everybody's birthdays in
birthday
July.
to
The
you.
real birthdays are in July. I mean, that's how we all know. But no, it was really nice to hear, and special shout outs to FlyQuest Philip with the birthday today, our previous Academy stud going off into greener pastures.
Wild
in the
green
LCS.
yonder.
Yeah, but it's really nice to see the still some of that cohesion with the team. You know, Spire shout out his own top player. That means a lot to me. But let's go ahead, stop talking about that first series because we have our final series of the day to get to, and it's kind of crazy that it comes down to Evil Geniuses Academy versus TSM Academy. We got to see TSM Academy come out in interesting fashion yesterday. Evil Geniuses themselves as well. So I'm really excited to get into this one. We'll go ahead and bring up the rosters and dissect a little bit of the PowerPoints we're looking at for both these two teams. Let's start with you, Joshi.
Break it
Yeah,
down.
well, let's start on the fact that neither of these teams can make it to the top 6. They are both locked out. They are both definitely playing in the play-ins. They will have to play an amateur squad in a best-of-3 in order to even play in the rest of Proving Grounds. And with that in mind, both these teams, start treating these like scrim blocks, right? Like, the results don't really matter. The points are made up. It's just like, whose line is it anyway? But if I have to pick somebody for TSM, who I've been super excited about this entire time, Anda, man. Ever since he rejoined TSM, he's been reminding us why he's been such a perennially top jungler so far in the Academy and amateur ecosystem.
It absolutely has. Rafa, do you have anything to back that up? Do you have any other focuses here when you were looking at all these players' faces?
Nah, Joshi's wrong.
Joshi's wrong.
I'm just
So
kidding.
I'm
I'm just
wrong.
kidding. No. I just wanted to see what would happen if I just threw the entire pre-show.
I
off.
was really close to hitting the button, Rafa. I don't know, man.
What button? To mute me? You can't.
I'm not going to tell you what button it is. I'm just going to tell you I was really close to hitting the button, all right?
I can feel the sexual
But-
tension from here
Oh,
between
no.
you guys right now.
Oh, no. I don't know if that's what it is. But we'll talk a little bit more about this Evil Geniuses roster as well because I think, obviously, yesterday, seeing a little bit of that confidence come through for some of the members on the roster I think was really important to me, especially even if, we talked so much yesterday about their last week performance coming in 3-1 and coming into this week with, not that top 6 spot to play for. I really want to see some flexing of the muscles here between both these squads, Rafa. Is he muted? Did he just mute himself?
He might have muted himself.
I did not hit the button. You're not allowed to be muted. You're not allowed. But
Well, we figure out what the button
see what
actually
happened the button
could
does.
be doing. I'm a little bit scared on when we come back.
he's like a mime now. I think we lost Rafa, but
It's okay.
we won't talk too much longer about the rosters because I also want to check in on what we saw both these two teams do last PG. When both of them were attempting out their runs and Rafa's
God, when you
having some
unmute me.
problems.
I'm back.
Yeah, I pressed the button again. Sorry. Got you.
You
got
definitely looked like a fairy from Zelda, right? Just like, let me out of the bottle.
He's stuck
That was
in
not
there.
the impression I was going for.
Let's look at Evil Geniuses from Proving Grounds of last split because it wasn't exactly the expectations we could have asked for. Joshi.
Whoa.
Both these
Is
teams, both these teams had rough Proving Grounds last time around, right? Both these teams, coming from the academy scene, dropped out in 13th through 16th. They ended up losing their games to Taco Gaming and Immortals AoE, who are not, bad amateur teams by any means, but we have higher expectations as we start looking towards these academy teams in general. We should be expecting that with the resources that they're getting, the coaching that they have, and just the ability to concentrate fully on the game, we should be expecting these teams to do better than the amateur squads in general. Neither of these teams live up to that expectation in spring, and unfortunately, they're going to need to turn things around if they're going to want to live up to that expectation in summer.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and look at TSM's attempt of PG last time around as well, Rafa, and continue that conversation here.
The overall ending for both of these squads, I think when we looked at the expectations that we had for them at the beginning of the year, not just the split, but the overall academy season, I'm pretty sure most of us were thinking that TSM and Evil Geniuses were going to be in the middle of the pack. We did not expect them to be the first academy teams to drop, and certainly not that early into the tournament. I mean, it was a momentous occasion, and, the cool thing for that Immortals AoE particular victory is Anime Girl was on the winning squad.
Yeah.
And then he changed his name to Soul, and now he's on TSM Academy, the team that he had a hand in delivering the exiting blow from the early Proving Grounds tournament. So Soul knows that TSM and Evil Geniuses, even though they're going to be playing in the play-in stage, they do not want to re-experience early exits from the Proving Grounds. They have a lot more to show going into the tournament for the summer.
And I want to... Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, based on the seeding from what we were seeing from the play-ins last time around in Proving Grounds in spring, we also know that TSM got a much tougher opponent than they potentially were initially bargaining for, right? Because in the play-ins, they were playing up against Maryville University, who, because they only played in one of the Proving Grounds circuit qualifiers, they didn't have enough points to get themselves directly into the Proving Grounds proper. They had to play in through the play-ins, but I probably would have said that they were a mid-tier amateur team coming through. So them taking a game a little bit less surprising than we might have initially expected. And so while TSM had a rough Proving Grounds, they did have a couple of tougher opponents we were initially looking at.
But I got to look more into TSM Academy a little bit more, and especially Jungler we all know and love, and who has become the Dark Knight of the white and black, apparently, the TSM Academy. It is Anda for TSM.
And he's the Dark Knight. He's the hero that they need. Well, maybe not the one they deserve. Let's be real, right? TSM, with the number of roster changes, we looked at it yesterday when they were playing up against Immortals. It was a lot, right? This roster has had so many tumultuous changes, and realistically, the only person who has survived it has been Takeover. But Anda, I feel as though he's coming in. He's always looking to try and make plays. He's the one looking for these flank angles and ways to actually get these fights started. And it's something that we've been kind of missing from a lot of the rest of the roster. Now that Soul is back, he is also trying to make plays, but he hasn't necessarily been as successful, nor should we expect him to be.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting conversation to see how effective he has been. We had that crazy matchup against him and Armeo not too long ago, and for me that's like a crazy matchup in its own right. But I think this one in particular, I want to see what Tomio can bring up against Anda, and especially with the the track record we've seen Anda have, this matchup is so pivotal to the volatility we could see in this one. But did you have something to say, Rob?
Yeah, I just wanted to. While Evil Geniuses, they're still slated to play in plans, I will say some of their most recent games have been promising, because I think Evil Geniuses have known for a while that the most probable situations that they're going to be in plans, and so they have been pushing their limits and really trying to just break out of the mold and stop falling into a lot of the old bad habits from Evil Geniuses, where they're too afraid to make plays, they're too afraid to get Tomio to be unlocked. I think Tomio has a lot more solid direction and more of a balanced take of where to go on the map, and know for certain he is going to get advantages, because we know from his time in Evil Geniuses Prodigies, when Tomio was leveraged successfully, he can completely take over the game. And 100%. A lot of the times on these Viego games, he has been absolutely fantastic to watch, and he has the reactions and he has the mechanics to be able to pilot himself out of nail-biting micro decisions that many other rookies would probably crumble under the pressure of.
I'm really excited to see it. We got to get a chance to we've been waiting for a little bit longer. Y'all can keep talking about it. I'm going to get out of your hair. Let's go see what happens for this first game of the series.
Bye, Lennon.
So as we start looking at this, right, it's definitely a big question of Evil Geniuses has been a team that has been less than the sum of its parts. And that's always brutal to say because Evil Geniuses, if you took these players and put them on different teams, I think that they would be seeing more success than they currently are. It's very clear that they have not been able to build up synergy. It's very clear to me that they are not necessarily always on the same page. And as you start looking towards Proving Grounds, where it matters a whole lot more, you look at some of the pieces like Surdy and Cowie in particular that we always keep coming back to them. These are players that we had high expectations for, that when we saw them come in during spring, we thought maybe these guys will be in LCS by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And based on their performances in summer, no. Based on their performance in spring, yeah, we could make that argument pretty heavily, but it's not been able to continue, and so we need to see Evil Geniuses now overcome this, because while you should be thinking of this as a scrim block, you should still be like trying to win more than you just like run around with the chicken with your head cut off.
Right. I think it's just the pressure has been almost completely removed from the plate. A lot of times when you're, playing for top 6 stakes, a little bit of the itch to go for a play might be curbed down because you're like, no, I'm not going to go for the play because it could ruin our chances to get in. And he's like, hey, you know what? You're already guaranteed into the play-in stage, so, why not, obviously go for winning plays, but, don't be afraid. Let the hesitation, be taken back,
You know.
Am I saying did you have a counter on
there
me?
was six.
Oh, man. All right. Well, now I know what I have to keep
now
in mind
you know. But Evil
Stop
Geniuses,
it!
as they start to come through, right, we already see Takeover going on to one of the best champions we've ever seen him play, right? He is one of the premier Sylas players that we currently have, and pairing this up gives him a lot of mid-jungle duos that have a lot of strength, right? Some matchups that you oftentimes go to with the Sylas that are not good in isolation, like the Twisted Fate, become very good when you have a strong jungle presence, and Anda and Takeover have been so good at playing together, at trying to make these early game plays happen, and they do it to strong laners as well. The most obvious one to me that always sticks out is how Takeover and Anda shut down Harry in the time that they were playing up against Team Liquid.
Yeah, the Evil Geniuses game 1 against Team Liquid all started off with Smoothie taking advantage of Ayla walking a little too far forward. They spiraled that advantage into Harry stepping too far forward, and there is a massive lead that Evil Geniuses were able to play for. Unfortunately for them, Team Liquid is pretty damn good. At reconstructing balance in the mid and late game, and eventually Evil Geniuses could not maintain that lead. But just seeing a flash of brilliance like that from the Evil Geniuses Academy squad this late into the season gives hope for their play-in and Proving Grounds run. But as we're blazing through the draft once again, some safety being held for Cowie as he locks in the Zeri. TSM Academy now doubling down on the engage tools with Wukong and Gnar.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised as well, right, as most of these champions have been fairly standard recently. The Rai is probably the most unusual one, but he's such a known quantity, is that Saligo is opting to play something that is not Lissandra, right? TSM left it up. Saligo has had so many of his recent games on this champion, and he's also had some pretty good performances on it as well. I remember Kelsey continues to talk about how it's a champion that when push comes to shove, you want to put Saligo on this character so that he can have the ability to dictate a lot of these early game fights. And he does a good job at it.
Yeah, and I wonder if this is Evil Geniuses making a conscious decision. Listen, we know that is our comfort pick. Let's break out of the comfort. Let's try and let's do something new. This is game 1 of a series that realistically doesn't change our fate of playing in play-in stage. With a Trundle lock-in for Tomio, it takes less carry resources out of him. It gives him still early agency to play around the map and protect his laners, but I think this is more going to be either about a Cowie game or a Surdy game, depending on what is the lock-in for Surdy in the top side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, you already have Cowie. He's on the Zeri. It does have some tools to try and keep themselves away, but Cowie does need to be very careful with the positioning early on during the fight. And Surdy still has counterpick. I'm curious what they're trying to save this for, because he hasn't received any bans, right? They are not necessarily worried about what Surdy is going to be bringing out, but he actually has some of the most unique champions played in the entire game, and the Fiora, something that he's been very comfortable on, and he's really throwing down a gauntlet.
He is throwing down the grand challenge, Josh.
There you go.
There you go. Longing for a worthy opponent. and that could be Soul, fresh off of his stint in LCS, getting a little bit of experience on the big stage. Soul deciding to step down and, you know, go back to Academy, taking the lessons that he learned with the big boys, and now TSM Academy rounding out their composition with Xayah and Rakan, a formidable bot lane with some decent safety.
Yeah, and Evil Geniuses, they're still trying to figure out what they want to do, but TSM, they've got go buttons. They're ready to go. Every single player, except arguably Tactical, have ways to get the fight started, right? Every single one of them can hop over a wall, can look for something, but you're really looking at Meta as the primary engage. But for Evil Geniuses, well, they are great at kiting back with 4 of their members. They can't get fights started. This team is really going to run into issues if it ever has to force a dive onto TSM Academy. If Evil Geniuses are ahead, they will start to run into issues trying to actually break into the base, and that's where Surdy comes in. Well, this Fiora is not necessarily going to be helping out a lot in the team fights. They will be creating a lot of pressure on the side of the map, and so Surdy, I mean, this matchup, again, I've been seeing this a lot over the past couple days, where I'm seeing Gnar getting blind picked, and then people are like, let me play Yone into it, let me play Fiora into it, let me play Gwen into it. No, because all the champions I just named are not good matchups into Gnar.
Oh.
No, you want to be the Gnar in every single one of those matchups, right? So this is Surdy again taking a stance where he says, I'm going to take the skill matchup and try and be better. Where Kumo was like, nah, give me the hardest counter pick I can think of.
And Kumo excelled on it. Even though he was being deterred for most of the game, he still, you know, showed up when it mattered after mid-game when he hit 2 items. But, of course, that was the last series. This is the Now series.
The Now series. The Now.
The Now.
That was then, this is now. But as we start looking at it, let's take a little bit of a look at how these teams have been doing in the second round robin compared to the first, right? Because Evil Geniuses have already gotten as many wins in the second round robin as they did in the first round robin. They're currently 6-8. They were 6-12 in the first round robin. So, you know, doing a little bit better. And TSM also already doing better in the second round robin. They've gotten 5 wins, 5-9 compared to 4-14.
All right, Josh.
What?
I've been waiting to do this all week. And now that we know that both EG and TSM are still in, and they're in the play-in stage, and, you know, this is more of a relaxed game, I think this is the time where we get to say, we get to throw down bets. Yeah.
Bets. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Pick a player.
I didn't prep for this. We didn't prep for this.
It's okay. It's okay. All right. Pick a player from TSM this game to get the highest amount of kills.
Is it kills and assists or just kills?
Kills. Only kills.
Just kills.
Yeah.
Okay, takeover.
Takeover? Okay.
Yeah.
I will pick... I think EG, the most kills, is going to be... Surdy, this game.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, this is an all-in onto Kaori right now, but they cut it out. Kaori only burning the heal, whereas Tactical hasn't burned any of his summoner spells quite yet, holding on to all of them. Flash from Smoothie gets the heal out of Tactical guaranteed. Kaori looking to flash over the grand entrance from Mia, but Tactical uses his own flash, and Evil Geniuses, you know what? Respect. They went for the all-in, they went for the skill check. Tactical and Mia are the ones that win out.
Okay, well, there you go. Who did you pick again?
I picked Surdy.
You said Surdy? Okay,
yeah.
Okay. What are our stakes, though?
Whoever loses has to tweet out that the other caster is incredibly handsome. And
all right, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it. All right, well, here we go. We go back to the 1v or the 2v2 at level 1 as Mia just goes in, right? This is what is so scary about the Xayah Rakan is the amount of damage that you can do. Rakan also gets the benefits of Tactical's W whenever you're nearby, and so they almost get Kaori. They force out the heal, and then immediately after that, the problem comes from the fact that Kaori isn't actually able to hit, and Mia is still just able to free hit up against Kaori. Smoothie not able to get the auto attack down on Tactical, instead focusing on Mia. And so the target selection all over the place from both sides, and now it's Ligo and Tomio coming down.
But because they burned both of their summoner spells on the Tactical, Evil Geniuses say, hey, there's a side with no sum, so let's make the dive. However, the dive goes awry. Takeover arrives with a beautiful teleport play and salvages Tactical and Mia's lane.
And we are noticing yet again, I have no idea how many camps people have done. Let me look at the mini-map. That was a 4-camp clear coming out from Enda. And he is still now going towards the top side, whereas Tomio commits to the bottom side camps, and now he's going to be losing his entire top side. He will pick up some Raptors and maybe the Krugs in recompense, but that was a big play coming through from Evil Geniuses that does get stifled, but they do try and make something happen, and now Surdy should know that Enda is in the top side of the map.
Oh no. No, Surdy! Surdy, my bet! Please,
my
please,
brand.
stay safe.
Oh, he
Oh,
should
God.
be okay, right? He's pretty far back, and Soul's almost out of Mega. Bottom lane.
Evil Genius
Round
is
two.
going for round 2. This time, Takeover cannot teleport. It's a decent grand entrance from Mia, but they put so much investments into it. And on the third time, they finally get the kills down onto Mia and Tactical.
Yeah, and Enda is still just chilling in the top side of the map, being like, well, I'm doing what I can, right? I can't really come down to the bottom side of the map. There's too much juicy stuff to pick up here in Tomio's jungle. But Tomio, this is definitely much more aggressive than we've typically seen him. He's definitely evolved quite a bit. He's gone for more of these early ganks than he used to. But now as he goes towards the top side of the map, you will see that most of his jungle is completely gone. And Enda will recognize that, oh, Tomio doesn't know just quite yet. Now he does.
Well, Tomio more
He's
than
okay.
likely
He's
has
happy.
a suspicion saying, listen, man,
Wham.
well, yeah, you don't get camps, but you got 2 kills off of the bottom side of the map play, you know? So
Yeah.
you're still technically ahead in gold despite the camp difference.
Yeah. Down a bit in experience, though, and Tomio will have to run around to try and recover some of that. As Trundle, it's not the biggest thing in the world. You're mostly just a ball of stats, and so having more levels just makes you a bigger ball of stats. And bigger is always better, most of the time. But at the same time, TSM will still need to find their way back in. Enda is typically this control jungler. He will tend to go for counter ganks and counter jungling a lot more than he will go for his own ganks early on in the game. And so TSM find themselves at a small deficit for now, and Tactical and Mia, despite their early 2v2 win, are now going to be in a position where they have to be a little bit more careful about repeat ganks coming down because their summoners are still gone.
It's good hover from Smoothie, just making sure the Sligo can safely push in this wave. Sligo can now roam with the Realm Warp, and dare I say it, are we going to go to the bottom for
Round
a
3.
4th time here, Josh? Yes, sir! Tomio has the pillar if he can get in range. It's a grand entrance right on the 2, and yes, Smoothie goes down, but by golly, Evil Geniuses got what they want, and it's another kill on the Tactical.
I love this. I love seeing Evil Geniuses just being like, nah, screw it. We're going bottom again and again and again, and Enda can't find his way in. Evil Geniuses, I said that they had pretty simple game plans when they are looking at their best, right? Certainly going for these flanks, but I feel as though when Saligo started playing Lysandra again, we've started seeing more of this, where he's just like, I'm going bot lane. When? Now, and in a minute after that. I will get prio, I will sacrifice some farm in order to make it happen. I don't care. We just need to get the kills.
What do you think is going through Tactical's mind right now?
Not
Just like-
again.
Not again, and as he comes back to this wave, he's like, are they gonna come back? Like, what can I do to stop the next one? I need level 6. And you know what? Anda says, you know what? You've had enough suffering, my child.
Oh.
I am here to make sure that you do not get dove again. And because Calorie finished the recall just in time, they don't catch him out. Smoothie was forced to flash.
Yeah. I mean, as Tactical, the way that you prevent this from being bad is you give up pressure.
Oh, wait, Soul? Is he going to get the flash out of Surdy? Oh, it's the grand challenge. Gives him the move speed. Whoa, 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 whoa. Soul, is he going to look for it? The house does not connect. This is why you like the Gnar side of this matchup, man. Once you get level 6 on Gnar, your ultimate becomes such a big pressure point up against the Fiora, right? Fiora only has the 1 riposte, and you have 2 bits of crowd control. The wall up is relatively easy to dodge away from, but the Gnar ultimate is fast enough that you have to be incredibly proactive about trying to get the riposte down. It's a difficult one to actually get across, and so Surdy is now in a position where he doesn't necessarily have the same kind of control over the lane, and as Soul starts building towards the Trinity Force, he gets a movement speed to kite out the Fiora. And so TSM, I really like the fact that they are playing towards the top side right now. They're getting a lot of pressure up there with the way that Soul has been playing, and Anda, having taken away so many camps from Tomio's top side, is now in control. They've given up a lot of pressure in the bottom lane, but they're making up for it with this Rift Herald. lopsided states of power here for both TSM and Evil Geniuses. A lot of the focus, as you already pointed out, towards the top side, leveraging off of Soul, whereas Evil Geniuses has just been trying to shut Tactical down and give gold over to Tomio and Kaori, respectively. As you already see, the Rift Herald was secured by Anda, but that means the first dragon of the game goes over to EG's way. And I think when we look at TSM, and we look at Soul in particular, you know, this is a player that chose to step down, you know, from what we got from TSM. Soul was given the option of either staying and finishing out the playoff season with TSM, or staying in Academy. And Soul said, you know what, I'm going to go back to Academy. I don't think I'm ready yet for LCS. But Soul coming back, I mean, he has, in this series against Immortals Academy, and, you know, so far in this lane matchup against Surdy, I mean, he's still doing a very admirable job.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Soul has definitely been a pretty decent top laner for a rookie, right? We compare him to other players who have recently come in summer, right? I feel as though he's been playing better than Vital for the most part. He's been looking up pretty darn good relative to even players like Hoon, who just came in this year. I also feel as though he's been playing better than Kumo. And so for a situation where he's coming in as an amateur player, playing on Immortals AoE as Anime Girl before, he's definitely been doing quite a good job. Okay. Oh, I was wondering if he was going to throw out an ult and try and go for the duel, but not going to do it just quite yet. But I definitely feel as though Soul has, you know, the personality to improve very quickly. The way that he talks about the game and the way that he thinks, and with the coaching staff behind him, we can definitely see this player go from, you know, a middle of the pack top laner to potentially LCS ready in as little as another split. Yeah.
No, I think we were all very surprised when TSM decided to put him in LCS. But I think Soul has learned a lot given that experience, and he's using and making the best out of it. And I think that has always been a mentality that Soul, even as Anime Girl had when he first came into Amateur and was playing on Immortals AoE, some of the earlier interviews, it's just, I'm just making the best of every situation that I can get. And that is a way, that is a person that you want in your development roster for as long as possible. That is someone that you can invest in for the future.
Yeah. We'll have a bigger conversation about top laners if TSM don't go for this plan, as TSM back away. Yeah, I mean, Soul is also relatively lucky, and in his interviews he was saying with Travis Gafford that the jump from Amateur to Academy was much larger than the jump to LCS.
Time to get back to that in a little bit. Tomio getting jumped on, forced the flash out. That Troll King does stay alive thanks to the Subjugate, and Mia might have been overextended. Good clap from Evil Geniuses, and the Realm Warp is now going to take over the escape necessary to get out, but it's Realm Warp from Saligo, the real Realm Warp, looking for the pursuit onto Anda. Already forced the flash out of the Monkey King. He gets out alive. The rest of Evil Geniuses' beautiful counter-engage to punish the play.
Yeah, good catch onto Mia there. Smoothie roaming over with the Ignite over the wall. Will lock them down in Tactical. They see him.
He has Flash, he has Featherstorm. He should be fine, but he will be forced out here. Kaori burning the ultimate, and while Tactical maintains his ground.
Huh. All right, well.
He's doing the taunts of the emotes.
Okay,
good spirit.
There we go.
Oh, Soul.
Looking
for it.
Get
Surdy still has Flash.
Here's no mana.
Oh!
Yeah! Stop playing bad champs into Gnar! Don't do this! You're giving them an opportunity to play! Soul's now getting the solo kill onto Surdy as well! I felt so justified watching Vital solo kill Soul yesterday as the Gnar into Gwen. It's like, don't pick this matchup! It's not good for the Gwen! And now Soul, he was having a bit of a rough time, but the amount of experience he denies, the play he picks up, suddenly, it's not just the solo kill, it's not just the experience he gets there and the gold he picks off of that, but the amount that he's going to be denying coming out from Surdy is a huge boon to the way that TSM is looking to play. We were saying that Surdy needs to have a lot of pressure in the side lane in order to allow the rest of the core of Evil Genius to have these kiting fights. But Soul, right, like, this is how this matchup goes. Because Gnar is not a mana champion, he doesn't have to worry. Surdy doesn't have a riposte because he doesn't have the mana to throw it out.
And the thumbs up from Soul as well. Man.
Yep.
Woo,
I love you, Surdy. I'm just saying, this matchup is definitely Gnar favored. I will play it every single time.
That's tough. For TSM Academy, this is a way to get themselves back in this game already. Evil Genius is very strong already through the jungle and, you know, to an extent, the bottom side of the map. However...
Oh.
Soul.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Sorry, I saw the repost. Yeah. Surdy has no repost for the Gnar ultimate. This is why you can't do that, right? This is why this matchup is so good!
I love it when you are excited about the Gnar matchups, Josh.
Yeah, Gnar's great. Like,
It's fun.
the durability changes helped him out quite a bit. But while we talk about this, let's get set up for this dragon, because TSM are looking for a potential flank.
Smoothie and Calorie don't have a turret to play for. There is a time where TSM were able to knock out the first tower of the game. Uh-oh, hold up now. And getting caught out potentially here. Good use of the clone, gets him out with sub 25% HP, but it doesn't look like he'll be able to compete for the dragon. No flash to get out. It would be a one-way trip if he went back over with the clone or the Nimbus strike. And that's the second dragon of the game, going over to Evil Geniuses.
There we go, Evil Geniuses. I mean, and we said he was such a good control jungler, but he's starting to fall behind his soul. And he's a mind game.
He catches him right as he went for the lunge, so no way to be able to get the repost channeled right afterwards. The Grand Challenge is burned. Soul already expending the ultimate, gives him a huge health advantage, and Surdy is forced to recall because Mia's here.
He's
stop the
in the
recall.
wings.
Oh, can Soligo turn this in one? Soul needs to be able to join over to Mia, and because Mia is separated from Soul, they can't make the play. Good roam from Soligo covering for Surdy.
Yeah, Mia a little bit too fast, right? They were expecting to get the wave in, but Soul not able to do it quickly enough, and Mia trying to make the play before he's ready. Just need to get Surdy to stop the back, so Surdy doing a good job jumping on top of Mia there to prevent the play from coming through. Now, Mark, do you want to talk about Anda, or do you want to talk about top lane?
I like top lane.
Okay, let's talk about top lane. Because what we've been seeing so far is, remember, let's go back to the conversation that Soul was having with Travis, where he was saying that the difference in playing an amateur top lane to LCS, or the difference between amateur to academy and academy to LCS, is the academy to LCS is not as big of a jump as we were saying. And if you kind of look at like the role as a whole in LCS in the North American amateur system, let's be straight up, it's not that strong, right? At an international level, right? We only have a couple of tops that can really play at that level where they are still a carry threat. And you know, we looked at a couple of players in the academy system who were like, I don't know if they're ready to go up to LCS, and they've looked fine, right? Philip went up fairly recently, right? We didn't think that he was even one of the best top laners in academy, and he's doing A-okay, right? Soul looks just fine. Gamsu, again, another top laner that we weren't super excited about in terms of who we thought should move up. I would have already talked about Tenacity should be taking those spots. Jenkins can take them. Darshan is still in a position where he can look to do those right
Hell, even
away.
Bradley, right?
Hell,
Like,
Bradley, like, now, if we got to see his play now, yeah, I definitely would have been recommending him already. But it's a spot where we didn't think that these guys were necessarily going to be, you know, even doing all right off the bat from the LCS stage. But it just goes to show, right, we have a new swath of top laners that are very competitive with the people who are already in LCS.
And it means that they are going to be very hungry to compete for those spots in the future. We are winding down, not just on the Academy summer season, because this is our last week, but also the LCS summer season. And then at the conclusion of finals, you know, and going into the offseason, I imagine there's going to be many changes being looked at, saying, hey, look, we've got a lot of hungry guys in the Academy system who are native talent.
Uh-oh.
Soul might have overextended for this one, though. No way out of that one. TSM now have to bail on the play because their strongest player just got caught out. And for the rest of Evil Geniuses, they will be able to bully them away. No more further picks, but TSM fall behind.
Didn't see exactly how that play got set up, but I definitely saw that Surdy had more friends around him than Soul did. And Soul, it looked like he missed the hop that he was intending to go for and was not able to create enough distance. That was probably the difference between him living and dying. But while we wait for a replay, you want to talk about Anda a little bit, Mark? Because he's kind of the player on TSM that we've said might be the Dark Knight, the hero that they don't deserve, but maybe the one they need. And also, he's not doing a whole lot this game.
Hasn't been able to do a whole lot this game.
Able to.
Yeah.
He's gotten caught out a couple times.
Hasn't gone down, hasn't given up any deaths. But, yeah, no, definitely on the same page with you as that one. I think for this game,
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Replay
he misses
time.
the hop.
That's
That's
extremely
rough.
unfortunate.
I mean, if he still had the flash, gets over the first wall, then he can flash into that like new tri-brush that's created with Ocean, and he, I'd say, is like 70% likely to get out from that position. So it's a mechanical misplay,
Yeah.
right? Like, it happens. He was probably a little bit too far forward as well. And to Sturdy's credit and Soligo's credit, we've seen Soligo move bottom lane quite a bit. It doesn't matter if it's Tactical and Mia. It can be Soul still. The point is it's still the bottom lane, but we set up for the Dragon. Takeover has control.
Okay, well, TSM have all the engage tools. They have already the
Whoa.
grand entrance, but huge turnaround from Evil Geniuses. They evaporate Anda before he even gets a chance to go in for the Cyclone.
Cowrie?
And Cowrie in the defying death right now in the face of 3 people. Finally flashes out before Soul goes Mega and looks for a re-engage. Doesn't have flash. He would have to hop over the wall if he wants to get a chance at looking for the counter. But Evil Genius is keeping them at an arm's length. TSM are down crucial engage tools right now.
Yeah, and Cowrie's ult just now timing out. He's had so much control here, and TSM did not have the burst for their immediate fight, and now Soul gonna try and teleport back. They can't afford to just give this up.
Where's Soul looking for? Okay, he's on the top side of this jungle quadrant. Doesn't look for a flank because he's only mini, so he doesn't have that much power. And threatening Evil Geniuses from the right side. Just goes in, tries to join up from the front, and the Dragon resets. And despite Anda going down, TSM have bought enough time that Anda can come in over the wall. He clones in,
Cyclone.
he waits in, he flashes in for the Cyclone. Who gets it? It is Tactical that secures the Dragon with the Blade Collar. Surdy gets routed off. Cowrie, no flash from before, gets caught out alive as well. And TSM, despite a very disastrous first engage, they saw it out long enough and they collected.
Great stuff coming through from TSM to turn their fortunes around, right? Tactical takeover, taking space so that they could buy time for Anda to come back, right? Look how far forward Soul, Tactical, and Takeover are all standing. And eventually, when Anda gets back, I don't think Evil Geniuses were ready for this. They were trying to play for the Dragon, but Cowrie doesn't have ultimate, Tomio doesn't have ult. There's no real way for them to re-engage because Cowrie's completely out of mana. TSM just playing the long game a little bit better. It's honestly very impressive that they have the mental resilience and the willingness to create pressure to even get that Dragon.
Shoutouts to TSM and the members here for just being able to understand that, yes, we lost our jungler, but we have the tools necessary to stall the game or stall that fight long enough. And we go back to some of our concerns for the Evil Geniuses draft. Well, yes, you have a split push win condition for Surdy that can create pressure on the other side of the map in case of the sieging problem. The other thing that we didn't get to really touch on is the fact that there's no engage tools. It is so important for Evil Geniuses to get to objectives first. They need to keep TSM away at a safe distance and poke them out. Otherwise, like you said, there's no way for them to really walk up and engage on a TSM for free.
Yeah, and it's also solo frontline Trundle, and he doesn't have a great ultimate target, right? You know, there's a bit of a trade going on because Takeover has, like, pretty meh ults to take away from Evil Geniuses. Evil Geniuses don't have any good person to take defensive stats away from, and so Tomio is much less effective of a tank than he might otherwise be. And Soul, good ult.
Good mini, but good hop timing as well. And now Soligo might be caught out here. He's been temporarily slowed. Takeover with the collapse. Beautiful stuff from TSM, punishing once again on the Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, Soul again. You know, he had the one missed hop, but so far he's been playing quite well. And now TSM, they push up in the mid lane. They're taking some control on the top side of the map. And with the Baron up, they do it fairly healthily.
Oh god, yeah. You have Divine Sunder for Anda as well. Tactical, 2 items. They're not gonna flip it quite yet. They don't want to take any chances, but setting up vision control, if you can set up a series of picks or get a Tomio out, and then the Baron seems more likely.
Yeah, and Tomio has to come in and check it. Not even gonna throw down a pillar, but he just knows that he would see them. It would be the wildest thing ever if TSM were actually just like chilling in the back of the pit, though. But they can't assume that there's no wards there. They don't have any pings. I believe they have to have swept it. But either way, as TSM is going to back away, Soul has been playing quite well. Takeover, my guy only has 0 kills, and so you're still winning that bet.
Haha.
Currently looking more attractive than I am right now, and now Evil Geniuses, they do need to try and create a little bit of pressure, because Surdy should not be able to create pressure up against Soul for quite a while longer.
It is completely dark in the top quadrant, though, and Mia will catch out Saligo. Little tanky is trying to survive as long as he can. Goes golden. Here comes the rest of the reinforcements from Evil Geniuses, but Anda stalls them for a little bit thanks to the Cyclone. Takeover picks up his first kill of the game, and Josh is one step forward, being more attractive potentially. But then Takeover goes down. So yes, Surdy launching it forward ahead. 3 kills. Yes, we're holding the lead.
Okay. We're back. It's a little while to get there, but TSM, they're going to have to try and contest this with only 3 members as Mia quite a ways away.
Okay, well, Evil Geniuses just
go.
flash pillar. It may not be the best engage, but it's a way to get a flash out of Tactical, and Surdy is pressing on forward with the lunge. He's got the cooldown reduction to go for it. If he can repost this grand entrance from Mia, doesn't quite get it. It's still going to chase for Tactical. He is chasing all the way deep into the base. He is behind 2 towers, but he wants this kill, and he will get it, baby. I don't care if he goes down. Surdy, that's a Chad move.
Oh my gosh, Surdy, even if he dies here, that's a pretty big shutdown that he just got.
He's stalling
Soul
so
should be able to
much
pick him up. Counter shutdown goes through, but it's not Takeover, man. It's Soul. Dang it, picked the wrong player. But TSM, they stall out the attempt coming through from Evil Geniuses, and we are right on back to the Dragons. And remember, that engage was Tomio, Flash Pillar. Let's just go. We just gotta go because we have enough members, and Surdy has to chase into the base in order to make that engage work. So TSM, now that they have control, the challenge is once again set for Evil Geniuses about whether or not they're willing to even come into this fight.
And Evil Geniuses aren't quite here yet, all 5 members. Tomio is limping right into the Dragon Pit, face checks into 3 people from TSM, but he's got the Subjugate, and he's probably tanking for a little bit. Good wild throw from Smoothie gives him a lot more
Soul!
Oh, Soul, is he looking
Yeah!
for it? It's a 2-man ultimate, only stuns up Saligo, though, as Kaori's able to dance out of it with a good flash. Tomio secures the Dragon, and the rest of Evil Geniuses are able to walk on out.
Alright, I was almost going to make more Kumo noises, but Kaori and Smoothie both able to flash out of the ultimate from Soul, and Evil Geniuses do a good job getting the objective and leaving. Evil Geniuses, well, they're not going with a traditional plan that has gotten them so much success with Surdy on the flanks. They haven't really needed to, right? They have been able to create enough pressure. They've gotten enough of the Dragons without going for the full-on brawls that he's not necessarily needing to go for plays, but he goes for one anyway.
Round 2, Surdy's like, give me the 1v1, baby. And as soon as he gets the Feather Storm, that is all that he wanted.
Yeah, give me those paychecks, baby. Looking for even more kills right now onto Tactical. But Tactical, you know, his heal is halfway back up, and he has to be careful every single time because he is very vulnerable to Surdy. Soul, much less so, because he's already got the Warren's Mail, he's got the Chain Sword, and Surdy has no ultimate. Okay, that's fine. Surdy doesn't get a kill, so...
But
still in the runnings. Jump the wall, get him.
Oh, Everfrost. Tomio still has Subjugate. Might pop it. Looks for the drain, and Takeover is forced out of there, but Soul? Okay. Adventurous. I like it.
Okage.
Fear
going
me.
Back over. Surdy has no teleport, and TSM are going to start hitting.
No flash either from Tomio, and there's no blast cone, so Tomio would have to walk all the way around to the open end of the pit. 8,000 HP on the Baron. Mia is checking around on the other side, but can look for the flank now if Evil Geniuses split apart their carries and members. 4,000 HP. Tomio approaching the Baron pit ever so slightly. Mia goes for the quickness in the grand entrance, but he gets stunned up and he's silenced. The whipsy from Smoothie prevents any opportunity for TSM. But now, can they capitalize? The Cyclone is great. Kaori still goes down despite Mia going down first. TSM follow through on the engage play, but meanwhile, we've got Surdy splitting on the bottom side of the map, so someone from TSM has got to answer, and it's going to be Soul.
Oh, TSM, they're going right on back to it. Smoothie, there's no way, right? You can't do a Blood Water, no level 1 Janet Tornadoes, but Soul cannot join. He needs to prevent Surdy from backing away. Can he find him in time? No, Surdy's going to teleport to the Dragon, to the Baron.
Oh, 3,000 HP. Anda should have Smite for this, right? 900 HP. Tactical is the one that claims it, but Surdy is going to try to do his best with Smoothie in his back pocket. He takes out one, looking for the other one. He gets the clone out of Anda, and Anda's the one that's on the run. No Cyclone available, so there's nothing that Surdy has to fear for. Surdy cleans up 2.
Surdy gets 2 more. 6 kills. Why can't he be getting assists, Mark? It's not fair. But Soul still trying to find his way back in.
I predicted this. Surdy now in the 2v2. Dodges the grand entrance, goes right on back. Oh, but it's still the the burn from Soul with the red buff on his back pocket, and he is able to hop out alive. Can he get out of this situation? The rest of Evil Geniuses don't have a way to claw him down. Sligo wants to look for it, doesn't have Realm Warp. Tomio just needs to get in range, look for another pillar. The Subjugate is popped, but it's not enough. Wow, Soul gets out. This game is awesome, Josh.
That's what I was gonna say. This game is awesome. This is so much fun to watch as they move around. There's so many opportunities for teams to go for these plays, and we got another opportunity in about a minute, right? TSM still have 2 minutes left of their Baron. What can they get done? They've lost all the turrets in the bottom lane. And this might surprise some people, but when you lose turrets, your opposing minions, the bottom lane minions for red team, are stronger. Now, they will be pushing a little bit faster, so even though the turrets are already gone, there's no super minions, it will still be an ever so slight advantage going in for Evil Geniuses. And so, Tomio needs to be very careful, but there is a little bit more pressure for Evil Geniuses to try and play with here, but they don't have control, and Surdy, not on a split.
And TSM forced to prevent Evil Geniuses from picking up their Soul point. Ocean Dragon on their side with a kiting composition like theirs would give them such a huge edge in being able to win the long drawn-out fights. TSM completely knocking out all the lights in this vision quadrant.
And Soul, he will have...
They look for the play. Surdy, great riposte. Stops the grand entrance and the quickness. The Realm Warp is coming in strong now, as it gives Takeover an opportunity to get out alive. He has to recall, doesn't have a teleport. There's 20 seconds left on the Dragon Pit, and Evil Geniuses go right for the minion wave.
TSM, they still want to try and pick up this Dragon, but they are currently 4v5. As
They don't
you said,
need to.
Takeover can't teleport.
Yeah, they have to defend this turret because Evil Geniuses, they're the ones on Soul Point. They don't care about the Dragon. They can just leverage this to their advantage. TSM don't have a way to be able to re-engage. It would have to be all Banda. Oh, the
The Do-si-do.
The Do-si-do. That's right. Evil Geniuses pulling them apart, but now it's a three-man core. If Anna can get in range, he has Flash. This is the one time that you can pull apart Evil Geniuses because Cower and Smoothie on the other side of the flank. Mia going for it, forcing the Flash out of Tomio. Now Evil Geniuses, their backs against the wall. This Dragon goes over to TSM. No Soul Point will be attained for Evil Geniuses. TSM able to get out of that one.
Yeah, these teams are playing way better than what we're expecting from like the 8th and 9th place team. Like, they're just going for plays. They are ready to push the smallest of margins around the map. And so far, TSM, they get another Ocean Dragon, so that prevents Evil Geniuses from picking up the Soul, but they got like a turret, maybe, off of their Baron buff. The game still is going to continue, and now as Cowrie gets 3 items completed on the Zeri, he is becoming very scary.
3 items.
Well, how did the Yawn Wrap go?
I don't remember.
Shoutouts to, what is it, Honey Lemon Tree?
Yep, Honey Lemon Tree.
There you go.
I would have to pull up the lyrics once again.
Yeah,
But honestly, for
Go.
Evil Geniuses and TSM, I'm looking at both of these top laners right now because Soul has had some big moments, and Surdy has
Oh, they
also
gave him
had
red.
some big moments as well. Oh my goodness, dude! The trust in the top laner for TSM right now is like, you are the chosen one, Alex. You must go forward.
Alex. Okay, not going to be able to catch his way onto Surdy. There's no objectives currently up, and so there's just a bit of farming to be going down while we both wait and see. I mean, based on the way these two teams have been playing, I feel like they're the kind of teams who would try and make a play right now if somebody gets a little bit too far forward. And also, as we start looking at the items to come through, Soul already's got the Executioners, or the Chain Sword, but Takeover is going to be doing quite a bit of healing, and there's a bunch of like tier 1 Grievous Wounds coming through, but that only cuts up by like, what is it, 25, 30%? I don't remember what the number is after they changed it on the durability
40.
patch.
I think it's 40 now.
Not on the tier 1s.
Oh, you're right. Maybe it is 20%.
Yeah, it's not a lot. He's still going to be doing most of the healing he wants to, and Evil Geniuses won't be able to prevent the Kingslayer from coming through. And Soul, we're starting to see why they gave him the red buff. He's creating pressure, and it is the 1-3-1 as TSM pressure in all 3 lanes, corralling Evil Geniuses into their own side of the map. I want to credit Anda because he's been so loud, but I also wonder if this is the kind of thing that Tactical's been calling for, right? Like, let's create pressure. This is the way TSM was playing when it was so much better in previous iterations.
There's plenty of experience to go around on this TSM roster. now that we have Anda and Tactical in this lineup. Soul and Takeover being the developmental pieces, the rookies. Takeover in his second split or second year of Academy, where Soul, his very first split overall. And there's been good moments from TSM in this game. Evil Geniuses have been mostly the ones driving the tempo here based off of the bot lane lead. But as we get to this part of the game, Josh, the engage tools is what separates Evil Geniuses from being able to force fights reliably.
Yeah, we thought this game was gonna suck.
Nah, this is a banger.
This is way better, right? But that is the difference, right? Evil Geniuses, they don't have ways to force things from happening. They are relying on the neutral objectives for that to actually happen. And I mean, Soul can dance. Look at him dance.
Okay, good Meganar, and then it's I'm going away now. I'm not going to even try and contest the grand challenge. It's already chunked out 50% HP. Maybe a fight in the mid lane here. Good root onto Tomio. Doesn't have flash from before. Goes golden. Has been given the wild growth for extra stats. Here comes the teleport from Soul. Looking to join here. But Evil Geniuses now, if they can just prevent the fight from going long, Surdy has an avenue to look for the inhibitor on the bottom side of the map. And Soul is already booking it. He knows that they have given them the window.
And now as Surdy tries to pick this up, Soul, I don't think he has the damage to prevent Surdy from doing it. But Surdy believes him, and Takeover, he's got the recall.
Okay, that is 2 members dedicated onto the bottom side of the map. What can Evil Geniuses now do? They are looking to force TSM. Oh, TSM tried to flip for the Baron, trying to pull Evil Geniuses aside, but now this gives them the window to start the Baron up. Now it is TSM who have to call the bluff of Evil Geniuses. They've already lost out and chunked a member on Anda.
No teleport
2000
for Soul.
HP. Can he get back into the pit? Evil Geniuses turning tail. Oh, Takeover! The smite was early from Tomio, 98 HP, and Takeover takes it with the Q!
Come on, that's got to count for at least a kill, right, Mark? He gets up Baron still,
We'll
now
talk about it
Surdy.
later. We'll see how it pans out in the game. If that's what wins TSM the game, yeah, we can find a way.
We
to
can negotiate, but TSM, they're now 4v5, and it's Ocean Soul that they have to play for, right? Takeover not going to be around when the Ocean Dragon spawns. Soligo already teleporting down. Evil Geniuses are poised to try and pick this up. So, Anda, next person on the block, can you recreate Takeover success? Can you find the steal in order to pick it up? He's already leaving. They're giving it up.
Yeah, he is. It is too scary. Evil Geniuses, with all members dedicated to the Dragon Pit, Anda decides that at least we have the Baron. We should preserve that buff for ourselves. But man, look how close this is. I hope on the replay, slow it down, because I think it was 98, could have been 91. It is.
It's basically nothing. Goes through. Smite 94, 59.
Oh no!
So feels bad. Man, that's brutal. Coming through for Tomio.
Man, because he smited at 999, and that is. Oh man.
It's okay. I mean, they got the Ocean Soul, right?
That's
I
tough for
don't
Tomio.
think there's enough damage coming through from TSM to override Ocean Soul.
Well, now this Baron buff.
Now
What
we
can
got a
TSM do
permanent
with it?
Zhonya sound
Oh no.
on the top half of the map, but
not
we're okay. We're good. I don't know if Takeover wins this 1v1 either. I don't think he really has an opportunity to do that. He has no grievous wounds, and Surdy does.
And especially with the Ocean Soul on their side as well. It might just call TSM's hand to collapse and look for a goon squad. But if TSM do not find the pick on the Surdy and give too much ground for Evil Geniuses to push out the top side and mid parts of the map, they will lose far more than what they will get for Surdy. Anda's here for the collapse. Looks for the pickoff. Dude, Surdy's not taking any damage. The Ocean Soul, the healing. Mia's going in for the collapse. Soul's committing to the play as well. But is Surdy really taking any damage? He's not! He is not taking any damage. Ocean Soul is way too strong for TSM to deal with. They have pulled all 5 members from TSM to collapse for this play, and Soligo is splitting on the top side of the map. He is ready to open the gates. And Evil Geniuses, if they keep TSM right here, Soligo can look to end the game. He's got Realm Warp. He can accelerate the pace at which the minion waves collapse into the turret. Evil Geniuses, they just have to keep eyesight of TSM. They need to stop the ports. Looking for the Baron recalls. That might just be enough for TSM to save their base. And Soligo, all he gets is 1 turret.
Just the turret, but that's still a lot of time. That was a supposed pick onto Surdy. Dang it. Let's not look at Rise if we can help it. But TSM, they try to make this play and it doesn't work at all. Evil Geniuses maintain control of the map. And the one way that TSM has back into the game is the Elder Dragon. Spawns in just over 3 minutes, and TSM, they have to flip it, right? That is their one way to try and take the fight. They can't go aggressive. But remember the conversation at the very beginning, Mark. Evil Geniuses, if they're ever forced to try and make a dive happen, it's going to be tough. But luckily, they don't necessarily have to. Evil Geniuses have already opened up the inhibitor on the bottom side of the map that allows them to leverage multiple points of pressure, and Mia is just dead. And now he's golden. Let's go, Saligo.
Oh, looking for the Realm Warp. They're pushing the tempo here. Finding a pick onto Soul now. He can go Mega, but Saligo's pumping out so much damage off of these empowered spells.
Saligo, gone to the late game, right? It's the same thing that we were seeing, going bottom lane every single time. That was still this game. We're now 39 minutes into it. There is still no Mia for 15 seconds. Saligo, he's not really under threat either, right? Just as Surdy wasn't taking a whole lot of damage, Saligo will take forever to go down.
The presence of Evil Geniuses ever longing in the base of TSM, just like the Zonius sound currently in our spectator client. Evil Geniuses now backing away. Not able to collect on an inhibitor quite yet, but they are just living rent-free in the bottom quadrant of this jungle.
So now, Mark, with a minute left on the Baron, the next part for Evil Geniuses is you don't want to flip over the Elder. You do not want to give TSM an opportunity to smite steal that away from you. You actually don't care that much if TSM take the Baron away, right? You are still scaling. You still have 4 items on your Zeri. You aren't completely full on items on your Rise. Your Fiora still has another item to pick up. You are okay with this game continuing to go a little bit later because of all your scaling elements. But you want to flip over the Baron. You're happy to do that. Let's go fight over there. Force TSM to come fight you because your split pushers with Baron buff would be uncontestable. Your 3-man core, your Zeri, Lulu, Trundle has no way of dying. And so now we start looking for the crazy plays starting to come through from TSM. This is when things are really dire. They have to try and make wild plays like they tried to make onto Surdy before.
And Soul taking the time necessary to push out the wave as far as he can to give TSM as much leverage and as much time before Sturdy eventually crashes a big wave into the inhibitor and pressures for the end of the game. Evil Geniuses, whether they get the Baron or not, their goal is to stop TSM from being able to return to the base.
Yeah. And that's why you see Soul already trying to move down there. He pushed it out very far, but Surdy is like, yeah, I don't want to team fight you. Let me sit in the side lane. Let me maintain this pressure. And Soul choosing to go with the red elixir. Give him that little bit more healing and damage during team fights. I always like it when they go with the elixir of iron, because then I can say they're not mini Gnar, they are regular Gnar.
Because they're big.
Medium Gnar. Yeah, they're big mini Gnar. You know, it's, or even better, they're Wumbo Gnar. It's the opposite of mini. But TSM, they're now getting pulled over to the Baron. Their engaged tools are around, but look how quickly this goes down.
Yeah, they are burning it down so fast. Takeover must have been seen on a ward. Evil Geniuses call the bluff, immediately burn it down.
But the Elder...
Great stuff, but Elder is now up on the table. TSM, can they rush over to it? Soul and Takeover has started it on up. Surdy not in position to either split push. He is just coming back from the base, looking to collapse down onto TSM. 5,000 HP. I think they just get it right here. But now, Evil Geniuses, they're going to look for a race, potentially through the mid lane, but they can't fight TSM with the Elder Dragon.
What is happening this game, Mark? Every single time teams are trying to make these plays happen, but TSM, they get the Elder Dragon. Evil Geniuses pick the Baron, and you can't push against the Elder. But you have to try and take a team fight, but how do you take a team fight when Evil Geniuses won't battle you, right?
Oh,
we are in the spot of this perpetual stalemate between these two teams. They are both so hesitant when they're trying to make these actual plays happen, and TSM trying to look for an opportunity. I think they just have to dive. It doesn't really get better. You have to find your moment, let Soul build up his rage bar, and then you go.
Well, Soul's got quite a ways to go before he gets to Mega. He is still pushing up this wave.
Yeah, it's about 10 seconds from now.
Wow, you're actually right
Yeah.
on target. Must be an arm
Play
or
his character
something.
a lot.
All right, well, TSM, they're building
Oh,
up
he's
the
at
wave
99,
both in the
97. Sorry.
Yeah, they're building up the mid wave and the bottom wave. So despite the Baron buff being on Evil Genius's side, it allows them to at least defend the siege from ever happening. But as you said, Josh, TSM, if they wanted to use their Elder buff, they would just have to throw themselves under the tower. They're building up pressure on the top side of the map now, so now Evil Geniuses at some point will have to split up, and maybe that will be the window.
Yeah. And Soul, he's got about 40 seconds after the rage disappears before he can do it again. That is almost their entire Elder Dragon buff to play with. And TSM, Takeover just now going up towards the top side. They're not creating pressure all across the map quite at the same time, right? Their mid lane is not synced up, and Evil Geniuses can move between different lanes. TSM, you don't have a whole lot of time. You got to make a play.
Okay, Realm Warp coming in. Not sure where that went, but the inhibitor tower falls. The inhibitor falls for TSM. Evil Geniuses have lost ground already through the top side
30
of
seconds.
the map. Less than 80% remaining off of the Elder Dragon. Less than 90% remaining for TSM. For Evil Geniuses, I imagine the Baron buff is at a similar timer. Evil Geniuses just trying to last as long as possible. Only give up what can be unnecessary for them to stay alive. Evil Geniuses, can they
5
find a pick?
seconds.
Can they look for a turnaround? Elder Dragon is about to run out, and that could be the window for TSM to flee. For Evil Geniuses to look for a collapse already. 50% HP off the tactical. Less than 30%. He's on the retreat. And there's a flank coming in from Surdy, potentially to cut them off on the left side of the map. So TSM, they're funneling down towards the bottom, but they've already caught out 3. And the mobility from Kaori. He's able to scale the walls. He's able to do parkour maneuvers. Soul pushing through the mid wave, but it's not, he doesn't have an angle to end the game. It's just Anda and Takeover on the run, but TSM at least have bought enough time by taking out 2 inhibitors.
4 vitals almost just kills Soul outright, but he does a good job. He buys a lot of time. There's still 30 seconds before tactical, and they don't have a wave. They should at least be able to trade the same number of inhibitors. Mio will be up, and remember, Evil Geniuses, their game plan is so much
Realm Warp.
easier.
He brings the minion wave. They want to get this inhibitor right now, and they will get it. They can pivot towards the mid inhibitor as well. 20 seconds on tactical, 1 second on Mia. It is now 4-5. Evil Geniuses, are they ready to just end it all right now? 50% HP on multiple members here from TSM. They have to respect the damage from Kaori right now. So about to go Mega. Can he
Tactical up
find
at
the
3.
angle? Has flash available, but he needs to look for it. He needs to wait for tactical to get in range so he can fall off on the engage. Looks for Tomio, scoops him on up. It's not enough, but it gets Tomio down. 5-on-4. TSM finds Kaori, and Soligo
This is open.
the game. They just need a couple more auto attacks. Starting dancing around. Certified banger status from the Evil Geniuses.
He gets it. He gets it.
He just needs one.
No, he doesn't.
TSM hold out the base defense for the best fucking game I've seen all Academy season long. Only bangers from these 2 teams.
Oh my god, TSM, the brilliant defense. They didn't do it with Elder. I thought that was it. They didn't really look like they had a chance, but they turn it around. Soul finds the first part of the fight. He gets the engage going, but Tactical going forward, fighting
And look-
everybody.
And look how courteous Takeover is. He's waiting for the whole family to get in the group photo for the finish. TSM, what a hell of a game for the first game of this best of 2.
That was the most fun game I think I've watched this entire season so far, right? Absolutely back and forth. You had heroes, you had villains, you had all kinds of plot loops in different ways that it was going, but at the end of it, it's not Takeover, it's not Anda that end up being the big players. It's Soul, the rookie, and Tactical, the LCS veteran, coming together, combining their powers in order to take down Evil Geniuses.
Oh, man. Super back and forth. Thank you, TSM and Evil Geniuses, for delivering that masterpiece for us here on the Path to LCS stream. And we still got one more game, baby. We still got one more before we close out the broadcast. So me and Josh, we definitely need a break. I'm sure we all do. So when we return, we've got Mazel on the desk for our halftime show.
To another episode of On the Range. Tonight, we're going to be looking at our rookies here, the new bloods of the Academy Wilds. Let's go ahead and take a look now, shall we? Got some young tadpoles here on the rift. This one's about to get joeyed here. Now sometimes that happens when a predator finds its prey out in the wild. Wait, the tadpole's got some kick to him. He ain't gonna get eaten today. No way. Mortal's progressive, looking to take a fight, but where's Vital? He's important to the team. I mean, it's in his name. Oh, there he is. He's gonna come in. Holy cow, that's the rootinest, tootinest cowboy I ever done seen. Woo! What do we got here? The predators are circling the prey. There's some mutton chops on the menu tonight for these ferocious beasts. But wait, he's gonna turn it around. They had a monkey and a man, but Soul's a ram, baby! Now, some of our youngins here in the wilds are raised in combative environments, but as you can see, little old Meech here, he's got a little bit of natural born instinct on him as well. By golly, I gotta get him to carry me sometime. Now in his first hunting season for Cloud9, Shaden wants to become the apex predator. You're gonna see him go in now. Yee-hoo! Not today, young one. Not today. Whew. Got some new rambunctious critters out there on the range now, don't we? It's a little bit of a hot one here in summer as we're about halfway through the season. But you make sure to keep an eye out on these new guys on the rift. We'll see you next time on the range.